What's up, folks? What's going on? This is CEO of MFR Seasons and Sauces. And if you're not doing nothing on Sundays at 6 p.m., you gotta check out The Man Cave. I approve this message. I'm on my way. Check them out every Sunday, 6 p.m. The Man Cave. Yeah.
Welcome to another edition of the Man Cave, where we give our opinion on just about everything. Today we got a little special show. Burnell, you got perfect timing, sir.
Hey.
We got as you can see, our regular co-host can't make it. They got busy, got doing something else, but it's all right. Brother Burnell is holding it down for me. I appreciate you doing this stuff at the last minute, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got a special show today, and what we're going to do today is pay tribute, because I noticed that we've been losing some of our leaders and some of our well-known celebrities and civil rights activists.
Uh-huh.
I thought that they were leaving in a huge number this year. So I didn't want to wait to the end of the year, because I think people will start to be busy with the holidays and stuff like that. So I wanted to pay tribute to them today.
Okay.
So I wanted to now, Burnell, I think you are just 1 or 2 years younger than me. So the people, let me just say this too. There are a lot of people who passed away this year that belong to the Black community. But the ones I picked are the ones I know. So there may be some ones that you don't know, because you were born quite a bit after me.
Right.
So, but what we're gonna do is kind of go through these people, pay tribute, and give some interesting facts about them, because I think that our young people need to know that they sit in their seats and they stand on the shoulders of people who went before them. And we should pay tribute to them. But first, let me just introduce you again. Joining the show is my brother Burnell Nolan to the show. Appreciate you, sir, for coming on. Appreciate you, sir, for coming on.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, you went mute on me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I hope I didn't. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I was adjusting my computer screen.
Oh, okay. All right. So, so my thing is this. I had this other thought as well. So tomorrow's not promised. Right. Tomorrow's not promised. Tomorrow is a gift.
Absolutely.
And me seeing a lot of these people leave the planet made me thinking, man, people need to know about the saving grace of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
People need to know that Jesus paid for your salvation, and not to die without making Jesus Christ the Lord of your life. That is exactly the theme of this show. I don't know if the people that we're going to talk to have accepted Jesus Christ or not, but my whole overall theme is don't die without the Lord Jesus Christ in your life, because death to the believer death is the servant to the believer, but death is like the beginning of all kinds of torment for the unbeliever.
Absolutely.
So we'll get into that more, but right now we're going to pay tribute to a couple of people who have gone on this year. All right, first one we're going to pay attention to. Man, this one broke my heart, Burnell. This one broke my heart, bro. And you think people that you grew up with are never gonna pass away, you know. But when they do, it's like, oh my gosh, I'll never see this person again until I get to heaven.
Right.
And that person is Mr. Toriano Adero Jackson.
Mm.
Tito Jackson. Tito Jackson, man, I was so outdone when Tito died because I grew up with Tito. I mean, of course, he is quite a few years older than me.
Mhm.
But what is your memory? What is your first memory of Tito Jackson and the Jackson 5 as a whole?
I don't have like, a whole lot of memories. The only thing that I can recall is of course, hearing their songs on the radios and so forth. So, grew up, singing the songs, of course, and, just being addicted to them, especially, like in elementary school and everything. So I think that, definitely being a part of the Jackson 5 at the time that he was definitely something to, kind of mimic and, something that, a lot of people, looked up to and everything.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the first album that you like were introduced to them?
Honestly, I don't know.
Well, my first album I got as a birthday gift. It was I don't remember the Looking Through the Windows is the Looking Through the Windows was my first album, and I knew them before that, but the first album I ever owned was Looking Through the Windows. Okay. And I got that as a birthday gift, and I got one simply called the Jacksons for my birthday. But Tito Jackson, his real name is Toriano Adero Jackson, born October 15th, passed away September 15th of this year. He's one of the founding members of the Jackson 5, man. They played for, of course, everybody know that they played for Motown for a number of years, and then they switched over to Epic Records where they remained. He was the last Jackson to put out a solo project, and that was just a couple of years ago. Everybody else put out solo things, like every single person in his family, or I'm just saying all the siblings. And Tito was the last one to do it. And the reason he said he did it, he took his time doing that, is because he had to finish being a dad.
Wow.
Yeah, that was number one in his priority list. So rest in peace, Mr. Tito Jackson.
Absolutely. Rest in peace.
Yeah. So the next person is someone who just her funeral was just the other day. And she was 90 years old, man. Miss Cissy Houston, mother of Whitney Houston.
Right.
Yeah, that was kind of a shocker. But the thing that did not shock me was that she was 90 years old. I mean, it did shock me that she was 90 years old. She didn't come off as and she was about to be 91 this year. I don't think that she got to her birthday. Yeah, well, she did get to her birthday. She was born in September 30, 1933, and she died October 7, 2024.
Wow.
Yeah. So she was, of course, the mother of Whitney Houston. She's the grandmother of Bobby Christina Brown. She was the niece of Dionne Warwick, and she was the niece of Dee Dee Warwick, who were sisters. And she was the cousin to opera singer Leontine Price. Cissy Houston, 91 years old.
Wow.
She just had her her funeral was just a couple of days ago. You have any recollection in your Similac your Similac breath of Cissy Houston?
Honestly, I don't. No.
She used to sing backup for Aretha.
Wow.
Yeah. She sang backup for a number of groups that her voice is on the background of a lot of different groups. But so rest in peace, Miss Cissy Houston.
Absolutely.
She was very outspoken too. She wasn't like afraid she didn't bite her tongue at all. So Miss Cissy Houston. All right, here's somebody you probably won't know. But here's another Motown person passed away this year. Mr. Abdul Fakir. Do you know who he is?
I don't.
They called him Duke. Mr. Abdul Duke Fakir. He is one of the last, well, was the last known, I'm not known, but the last surviving Four Top.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Maddie says, hey, Maddie. Maddie says, Tito taught himself how to play guitar, right? Yes. Now, going back to Tito for 1 minute, Tito was the reason all of them got famous. Because as the story is told, Tito liked to go play in with Joe Jackson, his dad's guitar, and sneak it back into the closet. And one day, popped a string. Joe got mad, beat him up, or he whooped him for it, and then say, "Show me what you can do." And he played it pretty well too.
Mm.
And so he said, "I want you to play everything on the radio," and he did. And that made Joe had an idea. Maybe we got something here, because originally it was supposed to be Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even want Marlon and Michael in the thing, but then they got a little older, added them to the group, and it all rolled down into what you want to see. But now, Mr. Fakir was one of the four tops Motown group. He passed away July 22nd of this year.
Wow.
Yeah, July 22nd. He was a co-founder of the quartet, the Four Tops, and performed in an ensemble under the name from 1953 all the way shortly to his death, man. He was the group's last surviving member.
Wow.
But you know, it was cool because the Four Tops was always known for hearing Levi Stubbs' voice. Baby, I need your, he was the voice of the Four Tops.
Mm-hmm.
The other three guys, I don't think they ever sung lead. And they may have, but none of the songs were known. But Levi Stubbs was the voice.
Mm-hmm.
But Mr. Fakir, last surviving Four Top, passed away this year.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So here's somebody else that you ain't gonna know. All right. So can you tell me who this is?
No. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. This is one of my favorite singers in the world, sir.
Mm-hmm.
This is Miss Angela Bofield.
Mm.
Angela Bofield came up with, oh my gosh, Time to Say Goodbye, The Feelings Love. She has so many jams, man. One of her biggest jams was I Try. I try to do, well, I ain't gonna try to sing it. But anyway, she used to had this dual tone voice. Well, I'm not trying to describe, but okay, let me just say this. She was born in New York City on May 2, 1954, and she died June 13th at the age of 70.
Mm.
Yeah, so her and Tito Jackson were the same age. But let me say this. One of my favorite songs, I have many favorite songs, but one of my favorite songs by her was Angel of the Night. Angel of the Night was my favorite song. That took me all through high school, man.
Wow.
Took me all through high school. And they have a video of Michael Jackson. She presented Michael Jackson an award at some award show. I think it was the Grammys. And he kissed her on the cheek, and she almost had a heart attack, man.
Right.
Man,
I think that was, streaming on TikTok recently. So
yeah. That was her. Miss Angela Bofield. She had a very good friend that you probably don't know, named Phyllis Hyman.
Okay.
You know, heard of Phyllis Hyman?
I've heard of her. Yes.
Yeah, they had the same kind of rich, not same kind of voice. But they sang the same kind of music, and they became good friends, man. Mm-hmm. And so Angela Bofield had a stroke, so she couldn't sing anymore. Wow. And so I don't know from the time. I don't think she sang from the time of the stroke to the time of her death. But yeah, Angela Bofield, man. Wow. I really love Angela Bofield's music. Now, I hope you're writing these people down, man, because all right, so here's somebody else. You ain't gonna know. Can you tell me who this is? I'll be surprised if you tell me who this is.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So this lady's name is Alma Powell. Alma Powell, she was born in October 27, 1937, and she died this year on July 28th. She was, let me see. She was the wife of Colin Powell.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the wife of Colin Powell, and man, she was so educated. Man, she had a degree from Fisk University and Emerson College. You remember Emerson College was very segregated, and so she's really intertwined in today's like I'll just say, let's just say this. She's the wife of Colin Powell. She's the mother of the former chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, Michael Powell. She had two daughters, one Linda Powell, she's an actress, and Anna Marie Powell. Her father and uncle were principals of two high schools in Birmingham. And Condoleezza Rice's father worked in her uncle's school as a guidance counselor.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing how all of these guys interact, and I just think it's cool to see two black people stay together for so long. They've been married for I think about 40, 50 years, man. Wow. You know what I didn't realize?
What's that?
That he passed away before her. He passed away in 2001, and I totally missed that.
No, wait, you said Colin Powell?
Yeah.
Not in 2001. That's not right.
2021. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. 2001. 2021. I don't know when I say the 20s. I always forget the 20s. So Miss Alma Powell. All right. She passed away in July. All right. So you got to know this guy. If you don't know this guy, I'm like, what? Who's this guy?
We'll see. Okay. So John Amos.
Yes, John Amos. John Amos died in August, but it wasn't reported until October.
Right.
They had him and his son and his daughter had this beef going on, and they didn't, his son didn't allow anything to be known until, he was already gone.
Right.
So, yeah, he was born in Newark, New Jersey, 2 days after Christmas in 1939. Passed away August 21 of this year.
Wow.
Did you know he played professional football in the NFL?
I think I heard something about that.
Yeah, I think he played for the Chiefs. Yep, the Chiefs. So tell me, what was your most memorable role that John Amos played?
Well, it's got to be, the most common one, of course, from Father from Good Times.
Yeah.
James Evans. And then also when he played in the Roots, him as well,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yeah, those were the most iconic. But, he also played in one of my favorite movies, Let's Do It Again, with Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby. He played Kansas City Mac. You don't know nothing about that, right? You gotta look. I'm giving you some nuggets.
I may have saw that movie once.
Oh, really?
It don't stick
what?
out. I said I may have saw that movie once, but it don't stick out to me.
Oh, okay. EW said, "Hello, all." John Amos got to be Aaron's favorite TV dad. You're right. I've been compared to James Evans ever since I became a dad. Yeah, because I guess I act like him. Thank you, Miss EW. Okay, so John Amos, famous for playing James in Good Times. Okay, speaking of Good Times, there is when this guy played in one episode of Good Times but he wasn't known for that role. He was known for another role. Who's this guy?
Not sure.
Man, that's Carl Weathers.
Okay.
Carl Weathers played Apollo Creed in Rocky.
Okay.
Oh man, Carl Weathers was, man, that dude played the heck out of Apollo Creed, which is the reason why the movie Creed was a spinoff due to Carl Weathers. His role as Apollo Creed. He's born January 14th in Louisiana, died February the 2nd at age 76. Man, he played the heck out of that role. And that's the only thing I can think of. I don't even think of his real name as Carl Weathers. I think of Carl Weathers. I think of his fictitious name as Apollo Creed. You know that the series Creed was a spinoff from Apollo Creed?
I think I heard something about that.
Man. Okay. I should have got some young people. Younger people. Okay, so like I said, he played in one episode of Good Times.
Okay.
Do you remember Good Times episodes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, do you remember this episode where he played JJ was painting this woman for a birthday gift for him?
I remember that one.
Okay, so Carl Weathers and James, the guy who put John Amos, the one who played James, they died the same year.
Wow.
Yeah. I just thought that was coincidental that they were in the same show.
Yeah.
So the lady that's with Carl Weathers, do you know who that is?
I don't know.
Okay. That lady's name is Betty Bridges. Betty Bridges played his wife in that episode of Good Times. And she played in a lot of stuff in the 70s, and she was pretty most supporting roles. But Miss Betty Bridges, she died this year.
Wow.
So that's 3 people in that one episode who died this year. John Amos, Carl Weathers, and this is one of the latest pictures of Miss Betty Bridges. Now, you may not know Betty Bridges, but she had a famous son. Do you know who her son is?
I'm assuming Todd Bridges.
Yeah, Todd Bridges. Yeah, that was her son. Yep.
Wow.
But she got him a lot of roles, and she acted as his agent and all that while acting as well. But yeah, she passed away, man, this year. I'm not sure when, but she passed away. Wow. Betty Bridges, man, nice support. She was a great actress, great support to her son when he went through all kinds of bull crap. Yeah. All right. So next, I think you'll know this person. Who's this guy? You said,
Dexter?
You said what?
Dexter?
Yes, Dexter King.
Yep.
The son of
Martin
Luther King and Miss Coretta Scott King.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I was surprised when he passed away because it's like, wow. When did he pass away? I mean, not when did he pass away, but he would just seem so young. But did you know he was 7 years old when his father was assassinated? And he was the third born and the second son of Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King. He was a lawyer and a civil rights activist. He also was I think he was like the CEO of the King Center.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but he was, born in Atlanta, and now is just the oldest son and the youngest daughter. The oldest son and the youngest daughter that still remain.
Wow. Have you ever had a chance to visit that museum down in Memphis?
No, not the Lorraine Motel Museum. I have not.
Okay.
But I
where
did go to the King Center in Atlanta.
okay.
Yeah. But when I went, Mrs. King was alive.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't have her tomb next to his, because that's where he's buried, at the King Center in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I went there, it was just the one tomb, and now they got both of them there.
Wow.
Yeah. So never went to that one, but I did go to the one in Atlanta. But he looked just like his daddy, like spitting of his daddy, man. Like serious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's see. The next person you'll probably know, because this is in your lifetime.
I'm only
Okay.
40, so you know.
You said what?
So I'm only 40. So
But I mean, this guy, you've seen him a lot in your lifetime. You said,
well, I'm thinking. It looks very familiar.
Really?
I can't think of his name.
That is Dikembe Mutombo.
Okay, yes.
Man, he plays center for what? Man, a couple of NBA teams, but he was known for his shot blocking.
Right.
He played for. He was drafted by the Denver Nuggets. He spent like 5-6 years with them. Played with the Hawks, 76ers, the Nets, the Knicks, and he retired from the Rockets. 8-time NBA All-Star.
Wow.
Man, yeah, 2-time All NBA third team. And my thing about him, he scored 11,000 points, and he had 3,289 blocks.
Wow.
12,359 rebounds. Mutombo was a bad boy. Yeah. Now, one of the cool things about Dikembe Mutombo was him and Michael Jordan had a conversation, and they played in the league together against each other for 15 years. So Michael Jordan said, "I got you, man. I've dunked on you." And Mutombo said, "No, you didn't. You never dunked on me." And so that game, in that All-Star game, Michael Jordan went out and dunked on Mutombo. Mm-hmm. But Mutombo said, "It took him 15 years to dunk on me once." I say, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. So he only died. He was only 58 years old.
Yeah.
I was amazed that these guys are dying so young.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but look, the other thing about Mutombo was how much he gave back to his native African country.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what country that was, but I can find out real quick. The Congo. He took a lot of support back to the Congo. The other thing was, there's this myth, I don't know if it's a myth or not, that guys over 7 feet, they tend not to live long after, a certain age.
Wow.
I don't know how true that is. That's why I call it a rumor,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Kimmy K says, I heard Mutombo was a really nice guy. Yeah, I heard that too. You never heard anything bad about him. I didn't know he had children until he died. Okay. So anyway, all right, here's somebody you may not know. It's a gamble again. Boom.
Okay.
He said, okay. Man, that is Eric Mays, okay. Flint Councilman. Eric Mays, Flint Councilman, man. He was so outspoken. He was so funny with it too. Mm-hmm. They used to have to throw him out because he would not just fall for any old thing. He spoke up. He was so brazen that he would give his address out and tell people, "This is where I live. You come see me." He got a degree. He got a degree from Michigan State. He went to Flint Northern High School, and he passed away February 24th of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, he was on the Flint. He served. Mays served as a member of the Flint City Council from November 2013 until his death 2024, representing Northwest Flint.
Wow.
And he popularized the catchphrase "point of order." You don't remember seeing you didn't see any of his he was 65 years old. You didn't see any of his those
Council meetings.
council meetings?
I've seen a few of those. Those did resurface like on social media, probably within the last maybe 2 or 3 years. So
Okay.
I have seen them, in that aspect, and him flipping out and being extra loud, and
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, I have seen that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah, rest in peace, Mr. Mays. He got a lot of stuff done while entertaining all the rest of us. So the next guy, who's that? I know it. I got $20 to say you don't know who that is.
Now, I'm not really a sports person, so you got to cut me some slack.
Okay. That's Earl Cureton.
Okay.
Or Earl Cureton. Hold on, let me see what Maddie says. My cousin in Florida told me about Eric Mays. She loved him. Wow. Your cousin way in Florida said that? And EW said that Matumbo, she said she believes he built the hospital in the Congo. He did. This is Earl Cureton. And okay, so I'll give you another chance, Mr. Burnell. What team did Earl play for?
Now, if I don't remember his name,
well, let me give you a good hint. Played for the Pistons, man.
Okay.
Yeah, he played for the Pistons for quite a long time. He played for several teams. He was drafted by Philadelphia. And then he went to a couple of Italy teams and came back and played 3 years with the Pistons. Then he went to the Bulls, Clippers, Hornets, and then he finally wound up retiring from the Raptors. But Earl Cureton was a power forward. And before power forwards were, now every position on the floor is famous. But back in those days, the point guard was the one who got a lot of attention, and he opened up plays. But then the point guard started, not point guard, but the power forwards got notoriety thanks to James. What's that boy name on the Lakers? James. It's slipping my mind. But anyway, Earl Cureton played for 3 years for the Pistons, and Isaiah was playing because Isaiah came in '81. And he made everything spark. So I remember seeing Earl Cureton and John Long and all those guys back in the early days of the Pistons' rise. But yeah, Earl Cureton was born in Detroit. He went to Finney High School. And it was the SAG. He was 66 years old. He passed away February the 6th of this year. February the 4th of this year. Wow. Mr. Earl Cureton. Rest in peace, sir. All right, so all right, you will know this person. You will know this person. Hold on, let me see what Faith in Him said. This is a message for you. Don't feel bad, Mr. B. He has me stomped on some of these. And that's why I said at the opening that it'll probably just be people that I know, but Yeah. All right, so here's somebody everybody know.
Okay.
I can't get over you. You know who that is?
I know who it is.
Who that?
Mr. Beverly.
Yes, sir. Frankie Beverly, man. One of LA's finest, man. I don't think he was born in LA, but that became his town because for some reason they loved Frankie Beverly. And his name ain't even Frankie. Guess what his name is?
What?
Howard Stanley Beverly.
Wow.
I don't even know how they got Frankie out of that. But he was born in Philadelphia, 1946. Passed away September 10th of this year, age 77. Man, he made some gems, man. He made some gems. I Can't Get Over You, Silky Soul Singer, Joy and Pain. Man, the rest, wait, the rest of them kind of they kind of escape me now, but man, he made some gems, man. I actually love to hear his voice. It's just so cool. And I just love Frankie Beverly Mays. He's just the best dude, best singer, one of the best singers in the world to me, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it says, I'm reading his bio. It says Frankie Beverly was an American singer, songwriter, and producer, known primarily for his recordings with the song and funk band Maze. He formed Maze, originally called Raw Soul, in his hometown of Philadelphia in 1970. After moving to San Francisco and introduction to Marvin Gaye, Maze later released 9 gold albums and created a large and devoted following. They sure did, man. Shoot. I don't know too many people that don't know a Maze song.
Right.
EW says, wasn't Silky Soul Singer about Marvin Gaye? Yes, it was. That was about Marvin Gaye. Lots of people made Marvin Gaye tribute songs. Diana Ross did, Maze did, Commodores did, and I'm thinking it's got to be one or two more. So yes, they did. Let's see. All right, here's somebody you ain't gonna know. I'm sure of it. But once I show you where he comes from, you'll be like, oh, okay, or maybe not. Who that? Never mind. I'll just tell you. That is Henry Fambro. Henry Fambro, and he was a singer in a popular song, pop group called the Spinners.
Okay.
Remember the Spinners?
Oh yeah, love them.
All right, he's the one on the left bottom. Henry Fambro. He also, like Mr. Fakir from the Four Tops, was the last surviving members of the Spinners. Now, the Spinners were all born in Detroit. He was born in Monroe, Georgia, but he came up to Detroit as a youngster. And he moved to Ferndale.
Yep.
And he used to drive around Berry Gordy's mother. Whenever she needed a ride somewhere, he was like her Uber until he joined forces with the rest of the guys. And ironically, they did a couple of hits for Motown, but Motown kind of passed on them. And then once they got with another label, they blew up. Yeah. And they used to be called the Detroit Spinners.
Yeah.
But Henry Fambro, the last one to pass away. Everybody else passed away. So the other guys, Bobby Smith, who is above Mr. Fambro, he died, I want to say in 2004 or something like that. The guy next to him, I can't remember his name. He died just before Bobby. Benny Henderson, I forget his first name. That's the guy on the right. He died first. He was the first one to pass away of the group members. And then at the bottom is Felipe Wynn. Felipe Wynn, he was kind of like the David Ruffin of the group. He just kind of quit on them and started his own thing. And then, you ever heard of Parliament song Knee Deep?
Yeah.
Not just knee deep, you totally deep, what you do the freak with me. I don't know why I asked that. Well, Felipe Wynn was on that. So EW said Tina Marie also did a Marvin Gaye song. She sure did. I cannot even forget that. That used to be my jam. So hold on. So let's do this. Let's do this, Mr. Burdell.
Okay.
I'm gonna pay some bills. We got some sponsors that we gotta pay some bills for. Let me play the commercials and then we'll come back and do the second half. All right.
All right.
Okay. Looking for good homemade cuisine at a reasonable price for your next event? Well, look no further. Hightower Catering. The best caterer in the city is just a dial away. Hightower Catering. Let Chef Hightower and his staff bring good food and good moves to your next social event. Hightower Catering. Hightower Catering has a wide array of cuisine made by his own special seasonings. Hightower Catering does it all. Call Hightower Catering today. Hightower Catering. Good food equals good mood. Hightower Catering. Call Hightower Catering at 313-478-6030. That's 313-478-6030. And find us on Instagram and Facebook. Man, I'm so proud of those two guys, man. These are two young African-American entrepreneurs that are doing their thing, man. First off is Antoine Williams, native of Chicago. Man, this guy used to work at the casino, and he used to barbecue so well that he used to come and sell his barbecue at the plant, right? And so everybody was like, hey, man, when you gonna have some more food? When you gonna have some more food? But they loved his cooking, but they loved his seasoning. So he was like, man, I might as well do it myself. So he patented his seasoning combinations and some sauces and started selling them. And then eventually it took off to what it is now, MFR seasonings and sauces, man. This stuff is so good. And you know, the good thing is very low in sodium. Very low in sodium. I really love his stuff. I don't even buy any other sauces other than his. And Antoine Williams, you can find his stuff at mferonline.com. What is it? Dang, I'm drawing a blank now. He had it for me. Okay, I'll get it for you by the end of the show. My other sponsor is my nephew, Chef Jamel Hightower, who also has his own seasoning line that he put together. And he is a traveling chef. He's been all over the country, not barbecuing, but catering events, especially Michigan. He's pretty known in Michigan, but he's starting to get known in other states. And he even did one for me. He catered a very small gathering, like a gathering of 2 people. And he made it so memorable, man. He brought the fixings, the somewhat decoration, and man, he's just the best chef ever, man. And I love these guys, and they sponsor the show. But that's my kinfolk right there. Okay. Chef Jamel. You can find him on Facebook, Instagram, and hightowerscatering.com. Awesome. Yeah, them my boys. All right. So just to recap, we paying tribute to Mr. Tito Jackson, Miss Sissy Houston, Mr. Abdul Duke Fakir, Miss Angela Bofield, Miss Alma Powell, wife of Colin Powell, Mr. John Amos, Mr. Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, Miss Betty Bridges, actress and mother of Todd Bridges, Mr. Dexter King, son of Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King, Hall of Fame center Dikembe Mutombo, Flint Councilman Mr. Eric Mays, former Piston power forward Earl Curitan, and Silky Soul singer Frankie Beverly, and the last member of the Spinners, Mr. Henry Frambro. All right, so here goes somebody else, Mr. You ain't gonna know. Sports guy. Who that? I know. I'm probably torching you with this sports stuff, but we lost a lot of sports people. You know, take a guess. He got a very, very famous son.
Not sure.
Oh. Okay. His name is Joseph Washington Jellybean Bryant. And this is his famous son.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's father Joe Bryant passed away this year, July 15th, at the age of 69. He played basketball himself with the Rockets, the Clippers when they were in San Diego, the 70s, and the 76ers. He was also played, man, he played for a lot of other teams that, like the Hebrew Academy, actually coached there. He played for a lot of teams in Italy and all of that. But he averaged like 8 points a game. He was a good player, but nobody knew who he was until his son came to be Kobe. And he's you good when your son when you get to have one name like Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's who he learned all his skills from. But Kobe was bilingual. He knew Italian, he knew a couple of different languages because um his father coached in all these other countries.
Mm-hmm.
It says Jelly Bean Bryant also played for several teams in Italy and one in France. Bryant was the head coach of WNBA LA Sparks from 2005 to 2007, returned to his position as the remainder of 2011 NBA season. Bryant also coached in Japan and Thailand. His son, basketball great Kobe Bryant, was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. So Mr. Joe Jellybean Bryant, father of Kobe Bryant, passed away this year at the age of 69. All right, here's somebody you will know. Now, if you don't know this guy, I'm just gonna have to pause. Who it is?
Of course, I know what this is. Come on now.
Who that?
Who don't know who Mr. Mufasa himself?
Yes, the voice.
Jones. Yes.
The voice, man. The voice. James Earl Jones, man. Passed away in September 9th of this year at age 93. He was born in Mississippi. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was born in Mississippi, but he died in New York in his house in New York in Pauling, New York.
Mm.
But yeah, he is did you know that he got an EGOT? You know what an EGOT is?
No, I don't think I do. Nope.
Okay. Well, an EGOT, Whoopi Goldberg has an EGOT as well. And it's spelled EGOT. And that's an actor who has won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony.
Wow.
So you put those acronyms together, it spells EGOT.
Okay.
And I don't know why they didn't rearrange it and made it GOAT, GOTE, because you know what I'm saying. Right. Everybody's saying GOAT now. But anyway, but he has won all four of those, which is the highest award in all of those categories.
Wow.
Mr. James Earl Jones. So The Lion King is your favorite James Earl Jones movie?
Not only that, but also Star Wars, of course.
Yeah.
And a couple other, things. I remember him in Robert Thompson movie, Meteor Man.
Meteor Man, that's right. He played Meteor Man. He was this old guy trying to act young.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I'm surprised you ain't say the most obvious one.
The most obvious. What am I missing?
In like in the black community. Coming to America.
Oh, that too.
Yeah. Coming to My Son Work. But yeah, James Earl, one of my favorite movies with James Earl Jones was A Piece of the Action with Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier. Now, Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier made 3 movies together. Mm-hmm. It was Uptown Saturday Night. It was Let's Do It Again, and A Piece of the Action. And The Piece of the Action is the one with James Earl Jones in it. And another one of my favorite James Earl Jones movies was Claudine with Diane Carroll. Now, promise me that you'll watch Claudine before the end of the year?
Absolutely, I can do that.
Okay. Now, it won't be hard to find. It's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. One of
Okay.
the best movies in the world. And then you'll be watching and be like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
it's James Earl Jones, man, passed away at home. And even you remember the second Coming to America?
Yeah.
He had to film that from his house because he wasn't feeling well.
Wow.
Yeah. They moved all that camera equipment in his house because he wasn't able to get out of the bed, but he knew his lines, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the last movie he did.
Wow.
Yep. Now I had a picture of his dad. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, here it is. I don't know if I could put it in there this fast because my computer's kind of going a little trippy. But let me see if I could put this in here. His father was his inspiration for acting. And it was because of his dad that he decided to get into acting.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to show you this.
Also, he played that as a boxer too.
Yes. Oh man, what was the name of that movie? I can't remember the name of that movie as either. I want to say The Great White Hope, but I don't think that's it. I'll figure it out in a minute. But I'm pulling in the picture of his dad. His dad's name was Robert Earl Jones. And he looked just like his daddy.
Yeah, definitely does.
Yeah. His father was an actor as well. All right. We're coming down to the home stretch. Louis Gossett Jr. Man, hold on a minute. Louis Gossett. Okay. Louis Gossett Jr. won an Oscar for the movie An Officer and a Gentleman. And ironically, not a lot of roles start coming in for him after he won the Oscar. I think it was racist and all of that. But he played and won Best Supporting Actor in, what was that? I think it was 77. Yeah, 77. But what do you think was Louis Gossett Jr.'s most favorite, or I should say most known role? You said it early when we were talking about John Amos.
All right, so I was just about to say the wrong movie. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank here. Good Times.
No, he was in Roots. He played Fittler.
Okay, I remember him that.
Yeah, and John Amos played Kunta Kinte. They played together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, but he did play in Good Times as Florida's brother when they were behind the scenes kicking John Amos off the show. They wanted to fill that spot with a male presence, so they put in Louis Gossett as Florida's brother. They brought in a guy, Carl, that married Florida and then disappeared again. Yeah. Then they brought in Ben Powers as Keith, Delma's husband, and that kind of floundered. But anytime they tried to replace James, it just didn't matter. It wasn't happening. But Louis Gossett Jr. was a masterful actor, man. He was one of those actors that you believe the role he was in, even though you're looking at the same person who just played a good guy, then he'll play a bad guy and you believe he's the bad guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right. He was kind of like the Denzel Washington. You know what I mean? Denzel could play a really good guy and then play a gangster and you believe he's both of them. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Louis Gossett Jr. passed away on July. Oops. Dang. I had I had that page up because here we go. He died on March 29th of this year at age 87.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Marlena Shaw. Marlena Shaw was a R&B singer, and she made one of my favorite songs of all times, "Go Away Little Boy." Man, Columbia Records, 1970, I want to say 7 or 8. It was my mother played that song until the doggone record said, "Don't play me no more." That's all I know about her, but I know that she sang a lot of backup songs, but she had a really smooth voice. I really love, and she could scat and she could sing real fast. I just like her, man. I just thought she was beautiful, and I thought that song "Go Away, Little Boy" is one of my favorite songs in the world.
Wow.
Marion Robinson, do you know who that is?
I don't.
She is the mom of Michelle Obama.
Okay.
She passed away this year,
Wow.
at the age of 86. Her name was originally Marion Lois Shields. She married Fraser Robinson, and they had 2 kids, Craig Robinson and Michelle Robinson, later known as Michelle Obama. She passed away May 31st, 2024, at the age of 86. All right, here's a football player named Eugene Mercury Morris. Eugene Mercury Morris was a football player with the Miami Dolphins, and he held. Okay, let me say this right, man, because this dude, he was a heck of a running back. He was a running back, and he also was a kick returner.
Okay.
And he played for the Miami Dolphins primarily. He went to other teams, but let me tell you, in his career, he played in 3 Super Bowls. He won 2 with the Miami Dolphins, Super Bowl 7 and 8, but he lost 1. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler. He was an NFL rushing leader in 72. He was a kickoff return leader in 69. Now, in college in 1967, he came in second in most yards rushed. Can you tell me who came in first? And before you tell me who came in first, I know you can't tell me, but before I tell you who came in first, both of these guys died this year.
Wow.
This is Mercury Morris, the guy who came in first in yards rushing in 1967, and the person who died this year with Mercury Morris is
O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson.
Wow.
Yep. O.J. Simpson, man. I don't care how you feel about him. O.J. Simpson was a heck of a football player now.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give him his credit. He was a heck of a football player, man. And he died April 10th this year at the age of 76. Man, he was just the best. You know, it's messed up because O.J. Simpson's reputation is always going to be married to these murders and not his football career.
Right.
He did so much other stuff. He did football commentating. He did acting. He was a heck of a football player. The only thing that, and I'm sure the murders were tragic, and I'm not trying to de-tragic, make it less tragic.
Right.
But I think he deserves to be remembered for some good stuff. And he was acquitted. He was acquitted, and everybody still wants to attribute these murders to him. But hey,
and the court of public opinion,
yes,
he was still guilty. Another people's eyes, he was still guilty. So it's like, he's always had the stigma, and the fact that he came out with a book.
Yes, that didn't make it. That didn't make it any good better.
So it was just that just made things worse. So that's why I had a hard time believing him. And what do you think about that? Do you think he did it?
Well, no, because number one, the glove didn't fit. Number two, they found a couple of different. They found footprints in the blood that didn't match OJ's shoe size. Also, when they put those two cops on the stand, they pled the fifth, which means that they could have took they were planting evidence, and they were known for planting evidence. The other thing was there was this guy who was Nicole Brown Simpson's handyman, who was later known as the blonde killer. And so nobody brought that up. I mean, it's all on YouTube and all that. People just stuck it to him. And when that glove didn't fit, it was like, wait a minute, somebody brought those gloves there, assuming OJ's size, and dropped one at the scene and dropped one on OJ's house. Because what happened was one of the cops, they both went to OJ's house. Then they both went to the scene, and then one went to OJ's house. So it's very probable that gloves were dropped.
Right.
So it was just too much stuff that didn't fit OJ. And OJ was a running back. This guy was being tackled. How could he? I don't see how he could. I don't know. It's just me. I don't see how he can do two people with arthritic knees, and why one person didn't get away. I just didn't understand it. But anyway, that's my opinion, and I don't know how much that's worth. But O.J. Simpson died this year too. All right, I'm gonna fly through the last couple. Robert Reed was a center for the Houston Rockets. I remember watching him back in the 80s. He used to get the Pistons the business, man. This dude was an outstanding basketball player. He didn't make it to the Hall of Fame. He didn't get a lot of the credit that he deserved, but he earned his place in the NBA. And Robert Reed, center / power forward for the Houston Rockets. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. She just passed away just recently, July. No, not July. She passed away in July 19th, 2024 at age 24. She was a New Yorker. She died in Houston. She was the U.S. representative for Texas 18th Congressional District from 1995 to her death of 2024. The district includes most of the central Houston. She is a member of the Democratic Party and served at-large member of the Houston City Council before being elected to the House. She is also co-dean of Texas's congressional delegation. I remember her funeral, man. Rest in peace, Miss Sheila Jackson Lee. Do you remember this lady?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, Wanda Smith. She had that classic clash with Cat Williams on the air in Atlanta. I didn't know who she was before that, but she passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah. She passed away, and one day after her 58th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know that I didn't even know who she was, man. Because she comes on V103 in Atlanta. And yeah, she got into it with Cat Williams, and that was a big deal. But it was just kind of funny that she passed away right after that whole clash, man.
Yeah. I mean, she definitely, messed up when she, thought that she can, crack on him and him not respond.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah. So, and the last person we got, and I'm sure there's other people, but I don't know. It's sports guy, so you can't tell me who this is. That is Mr. Willie Mays.
Oh wow.
Willie Mays, man, born in 1931. He passed away in June 18th, 2024. He was nicknamed the Say Hey Kid because when he wanted your attention, he would say, "Hey, say hey, say hey." But yeah, he played for the Negro Leagues first with the Birmingham Black Barons, and then he moved into Major League Baseball with the Mets and San Francisco Giants. 24-time All-Star, Mr. Burnell. 24-time All-Star. He won the World Series in 1954. A two-time National League Most Valuable Player, Rookie of the Year 1951, Golden Glove Award 12-time Golden Glove Award, the Roberto Clemente Award, National League batting champion 54, home run leader in 55, 62, 64, and 65, stolen base leader in 56 through 59, hit 4 home runs in a single game, sir, in 1961. And his number was retired by the San Francisco Giants. His number was retired by the New York Mets. His number was retired. He's on the Wall of Fame of the San Francisco Giants, Major League Baseball All-Century Team, and Major League Baseball All-Time Team. Man,
very impressive.
Willie Mays. Can you believe that? This man did all that in one career. One career, Willie Mays. So we got through them, man. We got through them. I mean, I'm sure that there's other people, but yeah, we got through them all. I want to thank Mr. Burnell for coming on shut. Hold on, let me cut this. I just want to thank you for coming on, sir, for at such short notice, because you know I really appreciate the time that you give to the podcast, man. You're such a gentleman. You're always obliging, and I just want to just shout out to you, man, because you really always you come through when it's real tight and necessary. So I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for coming on.
Absolutely.
So I just want to end with this little tribute. I want to end with this tribute of everybody that we just talked about. Don't hang up, Mr. Burnell. For everybody else, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week. Stay tuned for the tribute. Oh wait, I gotta get my stuff together, man. Here we go.